right, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all honor and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, well as true fruit. Shalom to you, sincere Akim, pushing the word of truth and sincerity. Shalom to you, very few Akwaf that listen and learn as well. Hey, just, another day out here, on the streets to teach the word of the Heavenly Father, which his true name is Yahweh in the ancient Hebrew. All right. Hey, the body Yahweh Shai for giving me the spirit to come out here and teach the Bible. That's what it's all about. Teaching the word of the Heavenly Father. Doing His work. It's like it's community out here. Russia and China, on the drills, over in the sea. All right, and it all revolves around prophecy. All right, and that's what we're going to go into in this camp, because really we're in a time of war. We're in a time of war on all frontiers. World War III is literally knocking at the door. All right? What you got Putin come out and say that, we're going to let this truck pass. You got Putin come out and say that they have hypersonic, the food supply, but you have all the, all those cargo ships blocking off at the what is that going to bring? That's going to bring famines. That's going to cause people to war against each other, which is all biblical prophecy. All right? It's going to cause everybody, to take up arms against each other. You see? Because there isn't going to be, any food. Hey, when you go into, your local grocery store, the shelves are empty, man. And that's gonna bring on that full blown famine, which is gonna cause people to go to war against each other. Which you're gonna have civil wars breaking off, in the midst of that, because of this mandate, this Maxine Waters that the elites are pushing on the people. That's gonna cause your class wars, your civil wars. All right, which is all prophecy, man. All right, we're going to jump to verse. Ecclesiastes 3, let's see. Oh yeah, Ecclesiastes 3 and 8. And it reads a time to love. All right, so there's a time to love, man. You know, but we're not in a time of love, we're in a time of war. All right? We're in a time of the nations going to war with each other. All right, people getting ready to go to war against each other. You know, that's the time that we're in. That's the season that we're in. Time of war, man. You know, when we're in that time of war, which you have, you know, the elites, all right, the top, top tier of the nation of Esau, Edom, they're preparing war against you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Israelites. All right, they're preparing war against you. Cutting off your food supply is an act of war. Because if you can't eat, then you can't provide for your family. You know, you can't feed your children. You know, you can't feed yourself. All right, anything that surrounds you, you can't take care of yourself. That's an act of war. You know, cutting off your food supply. So, hey, you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you know, it's time. It really is time, you know, to get your mind right. Because the time of war is upon us. In a time of peace, you know, hey, a lot of you Israelites, you know, you in that peace and safety spirit, you know, you listening to what, you know, President Joe Biden is telling you. He's telling you that, you know, the economy's going to be okay. You know, that food is readily available. When you got famines being orchestrated as we speak. All right, you got famines over there in Africa. You know, in certain parts of Africa, you got famines. You know, certain parts over there in the Middle East. You know, amongst those Ishmaelites, they already. You know, I read an article where it said 32 million people are going hungry. All right, over there in the Middle East. Well, guess what? Those things are coming to America. Man. You know, because we're in a time of war. All right. And your enemy, Esau, Edom, he's preparing war against you. You know? He's preparing to cut you off as a nation, as it tells you in Psalms 83. You know, when you go to Psalms 83, it tells you, you know, that your enemies are, you know, confederate against you. Hence is where you get the Confederate flag from. It's all to cut you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans off. You know, all these nations are confederate against you Israelites. You know, hey, who's the top enemy? Esau, Edom. You know, he's planning to wage war against you. And from there, let's grab First Thessalonians 5:1. And it reads, "But of the time and of the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, right? Because the elect, we know what time we in. We know, you know, what's about to happen. All right, we know that war. We know that war is on the horizon. We know that World War III can pop off at any moment. Which you already have the NATO and the EU. All right, they're already splitting up, which is prophecy. You got Russia, you know, which is known as the bear in the scriptures, rising up against, you know, the U.S. and you know those fake gutter rats, you know, those fake Jews, because it's all prophecy, man. You know, hey, prophecy, as the elders say. That's what it's all about. All right, and we're in that season of war. You know, hey, you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you know, a lot of you ain't ready, man. You're not ready for what your enemy is getting ready to bring to you. You know, you're not spiritually ready. You're not physically ready. A lot of you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans are overweight. All right, a lot of you can't even run a half a mile. So your enemy is gonna have, all right, he's gonna have easy pickings when it comes to mowing you Israelites down, man. 1 Thessalonians 5:2, and it reads, "For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." All right? And that's how the day of the Lord is going to take a lot of you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man. It's going to take you by surprise as a thief in the night, because you're not looking, you're not watching out, you're not being circumspect, man. All right, you're not paying attention to what's going on around you. You know, paying attention to your surroundings. You can't even see your enemy getting ready to surround you, man. You know, because a lot of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're blind. You're blind to the fact, you know, that you have enemies. You think everyone loves you. All right? Hey, these nations, especially the so-called white man, he doesn't love you, man. When has he showed you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans that he's loved you? All right? Putting you in cotton fields, you know, putting you in chains, all right? Raping your women, you know, and your sons. How is that love? You know? I'm confused, man. I'm confused with you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. You know? You want to be buddy with everyone besides your power, man. Besides your Yahweh Shema Shai, man. But that's going to come to your detriment. All right, from there, let's grab Exodus 15:3, and it reads, "The Lord Yahweh is a man of war, man. The Lord Yahweh is his name." All right, so the Heavenly Father is a man of war. And guess what? He's stirring up war, all right, all around the world. You know, everybody's in that you know individual it's all about me spirit. You know, because that's the spirit that Edom pushes. You know, that violent, all right, beast-like behavior type spirit, man. You know, and that's the spirit that everyone's going to be in. Everybody for themselves, man. You know, like, especially when all hell breaks loose, it's going to be everybody for themselves. Everybody's going to be in a war, you know, warlike spirit. Taking up arms against each other, people murdering each other. Why? Because Yahweh Shema Shai is a man of war, man. He loves, all right, he loves conflict. You know, he loves seeing a good fight. You know, which is the reason why he's raising up his men. You know, the tabernacle of David. Putting his men in that ancient, you know, warlike spirit. When you go back into the ancient world, you know, King David, you know, all the mighty men of King David were warriors, man. There wasn't no soft ass little punk ass niggas, man. Those were real men back then. You know, they weren't emotional like this men are today. You know, they didn't have their head stuck up their woman ass. You see? Those were real men back in the ancient times, man. And the Lord is bringing that spirit back, man. All right? You know, he's raising up real men. You know, men who are gonna put their woman in their place. All right, and not the other way around. All right, you got men, all right, who worship their women, man. Hey, that's going off, man. That's not a true warrior of the Heavenly Father. That's not a real man. All right, a real man is gonna have his woman in check, man. All right, a real man is gonna have his woman in subjection, man. We're gonna go into the definition of war, because that's what's coming. All right, the state of armed conflict. You know, armed conflict. People taking up arms against each other. You know, it speaks about that in I believe in 2nd Ezra. You know, people taking up arms against each other. People going to war against each other. It's all prophecy. nations. All right, so World War III is an armed conflict between different nations. Russia, the bear rising up against America. You all right? In Israel, the fake Jews. Which you have Putin, President Vladimir Putin said that he has hypersonic missiles that are capable of reaching any U.S. city, man. You think those Russians ain't playing, man. Those Russians are a different caliber of people, all right? They have that old Soviet Union warlike spirit back in them, put in them from the Lord, man. We go back to the Soviet Union. The Russians were fierce, man. The Russians were warriors, man. They still are. Vladimir Putin is trained in all different sorts of martial arts. Which you have a lot. Hey, you so-called Babylonians, you aren't ready for this war, man. You Americans, because you've been soft. A lot of you Americans soft as hell, man. All right, you too busy sitting on the couch, watching movies and eating popcorn, while these other nations are preparing war against this place. And I got a video queued up as well, going into those Moabites, all right, who are war ready, man. Hey, the scriptures talk about that too. Those lion-like men of Moab. They got those warriors raising up to come against you Americans. You Americans, you've been pacified and spoiled here. Between different nations, the state of different groups within the nation of state engage in war. All right? That's what's coming, man. War is on the horizon. It speaks about that in Revelation. The second woe is past, and the third woe coming quickly. All right, the third world war, which all these nations are going to participate in. In the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, which means the valley of the Lord's decision. Where he's gonna gather all these heathen nations down there in the Middle East and have them go to war with each other, which they're already doing now. You got Iran, all right, being backed by Russia, which is also prophecy. The bear, Russia is known as the bear in the scriptures, all right. You got Iran coming together, all right, with all these different countries, making pacts with all these different countries to cut off America, to cut off Babylon. Because all these, a lot of these different heathen nations, they're tired of Esau, Edom, man. Second Ezra 13 and 31, and it reads, "And one shall undertake to fight against another." All right, going into your wars, your civil wars, your class wars. The unvaccinated against the vaccine. That's your one people fighting against another. One city against. Are you gonna have city against each other? San Antonio versus Austin. Houston versus San Antonio. It's gonna get that bad out here. One place against another. One people against another. Going into your right? One people against another. You know, going into your race wars. You know, which you already have brewing now, man. The race wars brewing. All right. You know, you got Esau, Edom. You know, just out here mowing Jake down. Different so-called census matters, even though it's judgment. All right, but hey, those race wars are coming. All right, because tensions are rising. You know, with all these elites coming down hard on the people. It's only gonna escalate. You know, it's only gonna escalate. You know, those race wars. All right, it's gonna basically what it's gonna do is gonna continue to kindle the fire in those race wars. One realm against another. So you're gonna have the spiritual realm versus, this physical realm, man. All right, the angels, coming back with Yahweh Shah to make war against this place. You know, Yahweh Shah coming back that includes Esau. Anybody living with Yahweh Shah is coming to wage war against you. Literally around the corner. Matter of fact, I want to get into an article that Vladimir Putin put up. All right. And it reads, Russia hypersonic nukes capable of wiping out U.S. cities on alert. Putin. All right. So these, all right, Putin is telling you that he's ready for war, man, if need be. You know, Putin is telling you that he has hypersonic nukes. So that World War III is Russian President Vladimir Putin has nuclear missiles capable of annihilating U.S. cities are on alert. All right, so Putin has hypersonic missiles on standby. All right, which is really is Yahweh Shemel Shai. It's the Lord behind it. It's the Lord putting the spirit on Vladimir Putin to say that he has hypersonic nukes capable of reaching U.S. cities. Cities, Los Angeles, Chicago, Dallas, all those cities are capable of being reached by nukes. Missiles capable of annihilating U.S. cities on alert, raising concern of a World War III outbreak. All right? Going back to the lesson, World War III, the season of war. All right? We're in that season of war. The Russian leader revealed his country has developed a weapon that flies more than 5 times faster than those being developed in the U.S. All right, so Putin is flexing, man. What's the spirit of? It's the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Because the Lord has it out for this place called America. Contrary to popular belief, the Lord has it out for this place, and it's slated for judgment. While addressing the energy forum, Putin said nowhere is directly under threat. All right, so Putin ain't he's not throwing any names out. He's just telling you that he got missiles on deck, which goes into the Lord's army. All right, those nuclear missiles are the Lord's armies, man. You know, those arrows that are going to be shot off. You know, which they show you in that movie. They show you in that movie. I believe it was the first Terminator. I think it was the first Terminator with Sarah O'Connor. All right, and it shows you the destruction of Babylon. Man, she's standing on that fence. You know, she's holding the fence, and she's being burnt. All right, burnt alive into pieces. According to Vladimir Putin, Russia has intercontinental nuclear missiles that are capable of destroying American cities. All right? World War III, man. Which you have Iran on board as well. You know, you had Iran beefing up their military, beefing up their nuclear capabilities. China, all right, North Korea, South Korea. All these different countries are going to come against this place in war, man. President Putin's boasting that Russia possesses hypersonic weapons that are also intercontinental has heightened worries of a military clash with the U.S., all right, which is lining up directly with the scriptures, man. All right, Ezekiel 38. You know, the Lord putting hooks in the jaws of Gog and Magog. You know, which is Gog and Magog is modern day Russia. So the Lord is putting that old Soviet Union warlike spirit back in those Russians, man, to come against America. You know, Edomites versus Edomites. And a future World War III with the West, all right? World War III is coming to the West. Simultaneously speaking at an energy conference in Moscow, he dismissively denied that they intend to harm anyone. All right, that's a lie. All right, because Vladimir Putin is a war veteran. All right, he knows and understands war. He's trained in all sorts of martial arts. He's trained to use all sorts of different weaponry. All right, and the Lord is going to put the spirit on Vladimir Putin when the time is right to shoot those missiles off. He claimed that similar systems are being developed elsewhere, going into Iran, which you have Iran back out of the nuclear deal. Why do they do that? Because they plan on going to war with America, because America took out one of their top scientists, I believe back in 2019 or 2020. You had President Trump, you know, issued an order to take out Iran's top nuclear scientists. Well, guess what? Iran is pissed off about that. All right, and they want vengeance, man. They want war. So that's why they backed out of that nuclear deal, man. Weapons of a speed of Mach 3 or more are being developed in the United States. Our systems fly at a speed of over Mach 20. These are not just hypersonic, but intercontinental missiles. All right, so those missiles are being prepared, man. You know, the indignation of the Heavenly Father. You know, and it's a movie, I believe, man, which movie? Slocky, bear with me. The movie, X-Men. It was one of the X-Men movies where they showed you the missiles being shot off, you know, and shot into all the different, you know, different countries, you know, all these different, well, they show you in a lot of movies, because these elites know, you know, that World War III is inevitable, which you have Putin come out on camera and say that World War III is coming, you know, so all these different elites know that World War III is coming. That's why they're going into their bunkers, you know, going to hide out in their bunkers, man. You know, because they want to escape the judgment from the Lord. You know, it speaks about that in the scriptures as well. You know, the elites trying to hide from Yahushua. You know, anyone on the soils of America that's not going to be in those bunkers are going to be destroyed, man, by those nuclear missiles. Such weapon systems are already This is nothing unusual about that. High-tech armies of the world will possess such systems soon, Putin said, all right? High-tech armies. The armies of the Heavenly Father. All right? We'll end it off on there. Let's we'll go on to Ezekiel 38:2. You know? This is Ezekiel 38:2, and it reads, "Son of man, set thy face against God in the land of Magog." All right, and what's the land of Magog? The modern day Russians. All right, the scholars know that Magog is Russia as well. The chief prince of Meshach and Tubal and prophesied against him. All right, so we're prophesying against those Russians, which the Lord is going to use Russia to destroy America. Man. Really quick, let's go ahead and grab that. All right, just to show you, modern day Gog and Magog. The elites know. The elites know somewhat. They know somewhat of the scriptures. They know that those are your modern day Russians. And it reads, current world events are beginning to increasingly resemble the 2,500-year-old Bible prophecy made by Ezekiel in chapter 38 and 39. All right, so the elites know that the prophet Ezekiel his prophecies were on point. The elites know that Ezekiel was prophesying the truth. Ezekiel foresaw the rise of Russia or Turkey. All right, Yahweh Shimon Shai building up Russia, man. Putting Russia in that old Soviet Union warlike spirit. It's the Lord that's doing it. Or Turkey, which Turkey is joined unto Russia. Depending on the interpretation, in a coalition with Iran, Iran is forming pacts with Russia, which they already have formed a pact with Russia. All right, they're already in alliance with each other. So this is all tying into biblical prophecy, man. Which is beautiful. It's your pot. To see these prophecies, all right, take place in real time, man. Living in these prophecies, man. Which the prophets of old, all right, wanted to see. Which a lot of them are back in these times. With Iran and other Middle Eastern countries, Sudan, Ethiopia, and Libya, which is all in the scriptures, man. When you go to Ezekiel 38, the coalition is foretold to attack Israel, all right, which is prophecy. Those fake Jews being blown to smithereens, all right, because Yahweh Shema Shai he's gonna purge out those gutter rats from that land, man. All right, because he's gonna give it back to the true Israelites. From the north, in a bid to destroy it during the earth's last days, which were in the last days, commonly known as the War of Gog and Magog, all right, which is better known as, Armageddon. Which you had the elites put out all sorts of movies. The movie Armageddon, all these last days, end time movies. The elites know what's coming, man. It's you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans who don't know what's coming. Still living in La La Land when war is being prepared. All right, and I'm gonna just keep it straight. A lot of you niggas ain't ready, man. You may think you ready. I got me an AK. I got me a chopper. You ain't ready to take on Esau with a damn AK-47, man. All right, this nigga Esau got weapons you niggas ain't even seen before, man. Hey, these Edomites got lasers. They can shoot out the sky. But you ready to take on Esau? You out of your damn mind. Throughout history, it was thought that the prophecy had been put on hold until perhaps today, when it seems frighteningly more feasible. Right? Why? Because you can see World War III getting ready to take place. You know? That's what this article is going into. It's more feasible now because we see it. You know, we see the conflicts between Russia and NATO and the EU and the US. It's all prophecy. And it's all aligning perfectly, man. You know, playtime been over. You know, we in a time of war. Because really it's a spiritual war, man. You know? Once we continue, it's a spiritual. It's a spiritual war for your mind, right? We're not between your mind. Right? Is coming. In Joel C. Rosenberg's book, The Ezekiel Option, the author points to Ezekiel's prophecy in chapter 36 and 37, which has largely come true. All right, so hey, these elites, you know, the ones that run this society, they know the Bible is real, man. They knew that the Israelites would wake up in the last days. They knew we would come back to our power. They know that World War III is coming. All right, hence why they're going into their bunkers. This is Jeremiah 28:8, and it reads, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries." All right, that's what the prophets of old did. You know, they came out and prophesied against countries. You know, the prophets were assigned that the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, was going to bring judgment on that particular kingdom. You know, America is no different. You know, America is no different. You know, a lot of you, what's up? You know, a lot of you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you think, you know, that America is, you know, it's places. This place is special, or this place can't be judged by Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, that's not the case, because ancient Egypt was destroyed, you know, by the Heavenly Father. Ancient Babylon was destroyed. America's no different. And great kingdoms of war and of evil, of war, man. You know, because war is brewing as we speak. It just hasn't fully popped off yet, but it's getting ready to. You know, it's getting ready to. The pot is getting ready to boil over, man. Of war and of pestilence. You know, so evil and pestilence is coming to America on a grand scale, man. Which the famine is already a form of pestilence. You know, your food being blocked off, with these cargo ships being. These cargo ships being held up in Los Angeles, you know, that's going into your famines, going into your evils, you know, going into your pestilences. All right, because starving to death is a very gruesome way to die, man. You know, very gruesome to starve to death. You know? I believe they say after 3 days. I want to say 2 or 3 days after you start starving to death, you know, your mind starts playing tricks on you. You know, basically you go insane, right? This is Joel 3:9, and it reads, "Proclaim ye among the Gentiles, prepare war." All right? That's what's coming, man. War, man. Civil war, class wars, race wars. You know, hey, Yahushua, he prophesied about nation rising up against nation. That's going into your race wars. Which the race war already started. All right? When Esau took Jacob, that was a part of the race war. You know, you think the race wars is gonna come out of nowhere. We've been in a race war. All right, when you go back into the scriptures, the Israelites fighting against the Hamites. You know, we fighting against the Edomites. We fighting against the Moabites. Those are your race wars. Race war is nothing. That's nothing new. Being racist means that you're for your people. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. All right, Yahweh Shema Shai is waking up the mighty men. Matter of fact, I got a video, you know, going into that, man. These Moabites are getting down. You know, Moab ready for war, man. You know, Russia ready for war, unlike you Americans. You know, Americans, you're comfortable sitting on the couch. You ain't ready for no combat. Hey, but these other heathen nations are ready for war against you Americans, man. All right? Hey, Moab ain't playing. See that? Moab ready, man. Real men. Not these weak American ass men, all right, who got their head up their woman ass. These are, look what you looking at, men ready for war, man. Yeah, it's going down, baby. Hey, you got Moab breaking glass with their heads, man. All right? So you get the point. You know? Moab is ready for war. Been training. You know, you got these real soldiers in these different countries. You know, they don't play around, man. They're not weak like these, you know, like these men over here in America who've been pacified. Right? He's looking at real warriors, man. All the men of war draw near. You know, the Lord putting that old warrior-like spirit back in certain men. You know, not this weak, effeminate, you know, transgender. Men don't even know who they are anymore, man. Men want to be women. Women want to be men. Hey, Babylonians getting ready to be destroyed, man. You're right for the taking. You know? Hey, a lot of you Babylonians out of shape anyway. All right? You ain't worked out in years, man. Let them come up. You know? Hey, the mighty man. That video out of North Korea going viral, man. Those men over there, those real men, bro. You know? Those real men. They've been training. lot of you Americans, you've been spoiled. You know, used to everything being handed to you. Well, these different countries and these different men from these different countries, that's gonna come over here. They're not gonna spare. You know, they ain't gonna spare nobody. You know, those UN troops, hey, those guys, man, those guys is a whole nother breed, man. Especially those Russians. You know, I dealt with some of those Russians, man. Those Russians is crazy, all right? And those are the people that's gonna be over here patrolling the streets. You know, they anything they see they like, they gonna take it. That includes your woman. You know, they like your woman. They like the way she shaped. Shit, what you gonna do about it? Isaiah 19:2, and it reads, "I will send Egyptian against Egyptian." Who's your modern day Egyptian? Esau, Edom. All right, so the Lord's gonna set these Edomites against each other, which they're already against each other. You know, or you don't got a mask on. Put your mask on. I'm gonna kill you if you don't wear your mask. All right, Edomites they're already against each other. Republican against Democrat. You know, the unvaccinated against the vaccinated. Liberal against, you know what I'm saying? Whatever this shit is, man. Esau already against Esau, man. And I will set Egyptian against Egyptian. They shall fight everyone against his brother. All right? Going into that civil war, man. Really quick, I got a civil war queued up as well. And through the Spirit, we're gonna end this soon. You know, I just wanted to come out here and do the work of the Lord, man. But we'll go into a civil war, and we'll probably get a few more precepts, and then we'll close it on out. Civil war, a war between citizens of the same country, all right? A war between citizens in the same country. That's your civil war. Which, when you go back into history, America's already had a civil war, a 12-year-long civil war. Guess what? The civil war is coming back in a major way. You know, your citizens rising up against the government, which they're already doing now. You know, you got, you know, your jobs forcing people to take, you know, the zombie juice. What is that going to bring? Civil war. All right, you got Arizona standing behind Texas. You got Mexico standing behind Texas and all your red states. All right, all these different states are going to go to war with the government. You know, that's your Egyptian versus Egyptian. It all ties into prophecy. It all ties into the scriptures. Everything that's in the Bible can be related to today, or what's going on. You know, current events. They signed a peace according to ending the country's 12-year civil war, right? Which, you know, you have a lot of people that say, "Oh, the Civil War was fought to end slavery." No, it wasn't. The Civil War was fought so they can keep you niggas in slavery. They didn't want to let you niggas go. That's why the Civil War was fought. All right. And we'll end it off here in 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy 2:3. All right, because knowing what's coming, you know, knowing that war is coming, you know, and we are the warriors, you know, the soldiers of Yahweh Shema Shai, like, things are going to get real rough and hard out here. All right, especially when Jacob Trouble fully pops off. You know, we're going to be in the midst of it, but we have to we got to remain steadfast in this truth. You know, we got to remain good soldiers, man. All right, and good soldiers don't fold up. You know, you got a lot of men folding up in these last days. All right, because they can't handle the pressure. But this is 2 Timothy 2:3, and it reads, "Thou therefore endure hardness." You gotta be hard in this thing. You know, anytime you encounter a real soldier or a man that's fought in a war, they're very hard men because of the shit that they've seen. You know, seeing people getting blown. All right, seeing people bodies getting blown in the smithereens, that makes you hard, man. putting us through certain trials and tribulations is making this hard for the times to come. You know, hey, it might suck now, but we're gonna thank Yahweh Shema Shai for putting us through all the hell that He's putting us through and continue to put us through. All right, and putting that spirit upon us, man, to weather these, all right, these hard ass, sick ass times, man. Endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, man. All right, we're considered soldiers of the Lord. You know, we got to stand firm in these times, man. Because your enemy, the devil, is getting ready to come with everything he got. You know, Esau about to empty out. He's going to empty out his silos with all his weaponry, man. Everything. You know, tanks, nukes, all right, rocket launchers, laser beams, helicopters, drones, robot dogs, shotguns on the back of them, machine guns. All right, Esau about to come with everything, man. Esau's getting ready to wage war against you Latinos, Native Americans, man. You know, if you ain't got the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, you're gonna be finished out here. You're gonna see some sick shit going on around here, man. All right, you're gonna see people getting eaten alive. You know, people's legs are gonna be chicken dinners. And that's how sick it's gonna get, man. Because when the food is cut off, who's gonna become food? People, man. All right. All you people who got that extra meat on you, hey, you're gonna be first. You're gonna be first in line to be eaten, man. You're gonna be first in line. They showed you in that movie. It was a movie where a plane went down, and they were in the Alpine Mountains, and they got stuck, and they didn't have any food. Guess what? They start eating each other. Right? That's what happens when the famines come. You know, when the food is cut off, people are going to start eating each other, which is known as cannibalism, which is in the scriptures, man. All right, and with that, we're going to wrap it up through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Lord willing, this was edifying. And until next time, shalom.